Our organization was formed to stand for patients, to advocate for their rights, to fight for their access to the medication they need and deserve, and to tell the truth about healthcare.
I think it's incumbent upon us to get out there and tell our story because people don't know information about lung cancer. They don't realize that anyone can get lung cancer. They know the little statement on the cigarette pack that says Surgeon General says you can get lung cancer. And that's pretty much it. That is the sum total of most people's knowledge about lung cancer.
Is it getting better?
It's beginning to get better because there are beginning to be more patient advocates who are being outspoken. And it's not just patients, but I think patients have an important voice because we are the first-hand people who people listen to.
So voices do matter, especially from patients. And you have to listen to those voices and you have to be aware and also just to fight for better health care for yourself because it could happen to you or your friends or anyone you know.
What does winning look like for a voice of value to impact this world?
Patients need to team up with the physician community and really communicate what their view of value is and say, hey, this view of a cost per a metric that I don't really believe in does not reflect what is valuable to me as a person, what's valuable for my life and for my treatment decisions.
And to start to put quality based on a survey of what you're filling out. Sure, I have hard times and I have rough patches both mentally and physically, but my life is awesome. I am here, I get to live my life, and it's because of breakthroughs like immunotherapy, and it's because of finding the right treatment for the patient. It's not lung cancer, it's not even just cancer in general, it's specified to a patient. And if we start cutting down based on cost and business matters, then we're missing the point. There's always been a voice of value involved, it just hasn't been big enough. We need to grow it, we need to strengthen it as we go. The true voices of value are those patients and those people willing to stand up for the fight. That's value.
To hear like the USC coach come on down and talk about his story, but most importantly like the hope that he talked about was very essential, which piggybacked right off of Karen about her own personal story.
I would describe it as courage under fire. That's what I saw.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thank you for having me here today. So we're going to switch gears a little bit right now. We're going to get into some polling. You've heard a lot about the concept of value today and the importance of speaking up. So we're going to ask you a series of questions because we want to hear your voices. The first question is, do you believe that medical innovation, meaning the discovery and development of new medications, would be slowed down if these value frameworks, like the ones we've discussed today, were to be used to determine whether patients can access their medication?
I'm calling it a landslide. I'm doing
Yeah. Should the doctor and patient make that final decision on which medication the patient takes? Okay, so again, we have a landslide that decision should be that patient provider decision. You would be willing to give up eating out at a restaurant for a full year to be able to participate in or attend a loved one's wedding. Maybe those weddings are not really that important. We all like to eat out at restaurants. Next. You would be willing to keep your used car for more than 3 years rather than buying a new car right now so that your closest friend could breathe without an oxygen tank. So this one we have an overwhelming amount of true. The purpose of this exercise is really just to show life is full of trade-offs. And when it comes to the value of your treatment for either yourself or your loved ones, you may be willing to give certain things up to pay for that treatment. You may not. But that's a very personalized decision that you make, and you make it with your physician, you make it with your family members, you make it with your loved ones.
The whole thing was just about like, these are personal decisions that you make and that you're comfortable with, and we put that on time. So if you feel like that, like you should also put it on like the budgets and everything like that and the processes that you take to actually like get insured.
For patients rising and for patients everywhere from high atop St. Louis, Missouri, we thank you and good night.